Just about to go green back here at Dover. Let's quickly get the final updates from pit road. Jamie Little, you're up.
Well, Marty, after being slapped with a 150-point penalty, Clint Boyer went from 2nd to 12th again in the points. This team knows there's not a good chance they're going to win the championship, but they won't go down without a fight. Amongst all the controversy, they ended up 2nd fastest in happy hour. Dr. Jerry Punch?
Kevin Harvick and the 29 team have been one of the surprises of the year. After missing the chase in 2009, they roared back to lead the points for much of the regular season. They started poorly but finished 5th last week in New Hampshire. They hope to do the same, if not better, here today. Vince?
Denny Hamlin is the points leader, but he has the worst average finish at Dover among all the chasers. Now, Hamlin was 4th here in May. If he has anywhere near that kind of result today, this team will call it a victory. Dave Burns?
After Loudon, Jimmy Johnson fell to 6th in the championship. A pit road snafu, a late wreck. They finished 25th. Can they win their 5th championship in a row? In Jimmy Johnson's words, they've got to be spot on from here on out. Marty?
All right, thanks, guys. As we take a look at the track facts, we saw a lot of things happen yesterday. Lap 70 and lap 140, tire failures.
Yeah, we were going to be watching that. I mean, you see that pit window 80 to 85 laps. That tire, it'll likely go that far, but if somebody tries to push that camber issue or something there, it could, have a tire failure. We might see an earlier caution.
How about we give a salute to TJ Ford, the jack man on Juan Pablo Montoya's car. There he is. You got to be safe down there, TJ. He'll be our over-the-wall reporter today. All right, we're getting ready to go green down the backstretch, and yes, you're not seeing things. It's 9 degrees on that straightaway. As we get ready to go, let's pick one guy outside the chase, because the chase guy has always won this race. Who do you think one of the non-chasers could be?
I'm going to just go as far as the outside of the front row with A.J. Allmendinger. He's had some good runs lately. That 43 car hasn't been to victory lane here at Dover since 1984 with the King. May be a possibility today.
Well, if I want to get one, it'll be David Rudiman. He was fastest in one of the practice sessions yesterday and got a good car.
27 of the last 28 chase races have been won by chase drivers. We'll find out if that streak can get snapped. We're getting ready, and the second race of the 2010 chase is green. Jimmy Johnson takes the early lead down into 3, followed by Allmendinger, then Martin Truex Jr. For a moment, they were 3 wide, about 12, 13 cars back. In that mix was Jeff Gordon. There's Greg Biffle, who's really high on his hopes for today. He's got Jamie McMurray underneath him. You're on board with Kurt Busch.
Started this race just a little tamer than last week. It was kind of chaos when that race started at New Hampshire, but you can't really have that kind of contact on this track.
Yeah, the speeds are much too high here to get yourself in that type of situation. These guys know this is a long 400 laps here today.
Jeff Gordon trying to get underneath the 83 of Reed Sorensen. Looks like he's going to be able to do it. Can he clear him coming out of the corner?
Well, this is an opportunity Jeff Gordon would like to really take advantage of here today. A great racetrack for him. He needs to go to victory lane.
I think you got it right. I think he needs a top 3 finish today to be a contender in this championship.
Move Gordon up to the 13th position. David Rudiman, who had a good car in practice, now going underneath the 83. And right behind him, here comes Matt Kenseth. And you were pretty high on Kenseth after watching him yesterday.
Kenseth looked good in practice also. This is a racetrack where he ran his first Cup start a number of years ago, but he's always been very solid here. If anybody else needs a good finish, they certainly do to try to climb back in this.
Casey Kane, Joey Logano also in that mix. And a little bit further back there, you see Clint Boyer, as Boyer has now moved up to the 19th position. He's picked up 5 spots already.
He had a fast car in practice before qualifying. It just did not get a good run when they did make their qualifying run. And he had a good practice session in happy hour, so he's going to be coming to the front.
Back up front it is Jimmy Johnson, A.J. Allmendinger, Martin Truex Jr., and a little bit further back, Juan Pablo Montoya, and Denny Hamlin has dropped to 5th.
Yeah, Jimmy Johnson, I said on Friday that these guys kind of have the full court press on. They have to go out here and try to lead as many laps as they can today. They've got to take advantage of getting as many points as possible so they can climb back in the chase.
And just to let you know, as you see the cars streak by, one guy you said that also had to move was Tony Stewart. He is still 25th. He has not moved up. On board with Tony, and you see Jeff Burton there right behind him. They are 25th, 26th. Kevin Harvick has gotten up to the 28th position.
Yeah, that Jeff Burton, I watched his car yesterday in practice. It looked extremely good. As a matter of fact, I told Andy I thought that's who would win this race today based on what I saw in practice, that final practice yesterday.
Tony goes underneath Scott's speed. Here comes Burton following.
One thing, I talked to some of the crew members, crew chiefs this morning, and the unknown about this overcast on this racetrack is that how much rubber will this track take, because it takes a lot of rubber when the sun's out, not quite so much when the cloud cover's over. So we'll see how that affects the setups on these cars.
There you see the race leaders as they are on track after 8 laps with Jimmy Johnson ahead here at Dover. Our race presented by Burger King. Make sure to Goodyear.com to check out Goodyear's Support Our Troops program. There you can send a thank you message from a NASCAR driver, enter for a chance to win a 2011 Ford Taurus, and other great prizes. While we're in the commercial break, you notice that we have a lead change. A.J. Allmendinger has gotten around Jimmy Johnson. Let's take you back and show you exactly how it happened.
A.J. had been catching him. A.J. actually run a little different line. You can see Jimmy kind of lets him go right here. Kind of see what A.J.'s doing. This is not where A.J.'s been the fastest. He's letting his car, he's kind of diamonding this racetrack. And what I mean by that, he drives in a little high, goes up, and then cuts it back across the center of the corner as he on the exit. It's working really well. He's setting a torrid pace right now. Watch him right here. You can see the car goes up a little bit, and he's going to cut it back and almost clip the apron as he comes off.
Gets a big run down the straightaway doing that.
First laps led for Allmendinger here at Dover in his 8th start. He finished 14th back in May. Vince?
Well, A.J. says he feels like he's losing a little bit as he rolls the center, but otherwise pretty happy with the car. You know, it's one of the things with this 43, if you follow the sport, you know they've really picked it up over the course of the last month. He says he really feels like they've hit their stride because all the little things they've been working on are starting to finally make a difference. Dave Burns?
And Vince, Jimmy hasn't said anything yet about watching that line to the 43. In fact, he stays low in the groove, as you see right there. But the car just a little bit too loose for him at the start of this run.
And as you see the numbers on Jimmy Johnson there, let's check in on the 5 car of Mark Martin. Looked like he was going to have a great starting position. Then they had a mistake in the shock pressure and ended up starting in the back of the field, 42nd. You can see that he cycled up to 31st right now.
And 11 spots so far.
Another car that's back there, you see Casey Mears, also Brad Keselowski. And we should tell you, Dale Earnhardt Jr. is just a little bit further back. He's running in the 33rd position. There you see him at the top of the screen. Of course, coming off that great top 5 finish last week. Right now, been struggling most of the weekend here. Let's move a little bit farther forward in the field because Jeff Gordon is closing down on Ryan Newman. This is for 12th on the racetrack, and there he goes.
You see Jeff made that look pretty easy. His car looks to be handling really good. Not giving anything up as far as they get a little bit of time on the tires. Good lap times for him.
Jeff has 4 wins, 21 top 10s, and 14 top 5 Dover finishes. And as you said, today he needs a big one. Make a statement going into the remaining races in the chase. David Rudiman right there now trying to put the pressure on the 39 as well. He's going to take the low line. Meanwhile, Mark Martin picks up another spot as he gets around Casey Mears. Move Mark to 29th. Our race leaders are now into traffic. You see Allmendinger trying to get around one of the slower vehicles. That's coming out of turn number 2. Jimmy Johnson's about 7/10 of a second back right now.
Interesting to watch how Allmendinger handles this traffic. Not led a lot of these races, so kind of new to him to be the first one to catch the lap traffic.
Yeah, Andy is thinking the exact same thing. And these guys coming up, he's not exactly sure. You know, they're not familiar with exactly what his driving techniques are and where he's going to be on this racetrack. So he'll have to do some adjusting. See Jimmy still right behind, and we'll watch Jimmy. He hasn't changed his line any. Of course, if you have a loose race car, it's a little bit more difficult to go up the racetrack and make any speed.
Well, you see Allmendinger get around the 55 of Mike Bliss as our race here at Dover, presented by Burger King, is now 25 laps old. What's better than 400 miles at Auto Club Speedway in Fontana? Well, the chance to win 400 prizes in 400 miles at Fontana, California. All you have to do is tune into ESPN October 10th. Catch the Pepsi Max 400. Pepsi Max is going to be giving away 400 prizes in 400 miles. We're going 400 miles today. We've traveled 33 of them so far, and there's your race leader, A.J. Allmendinger, by a full second over Jimmy Johnson. Two other non-chase contestants, Martin Truex Jr. and Juan Pablo Montoya, third and fourth. Greg Biffle has gotten around Denny Hamlin for fifth. And then rounding out the top 10, it's McMurray seventh, Kurt Busch eighth, Carl Edwards, and Paul Menard. Now, one group of cars that we want to sort of circle back and pick up on is 23rd, 24th, and 25th position. It's Kevin Harvick, Tony Stewart, and Jeff Burton. And Harvick's been the biggest mover of the bunch. Remember, he started back in 33.
Yeah, Harvick is coming on. His car looks pretty good. He's running that higher line here, kind of diamond in the racetrack, just like we talked about A.J. Allmendinger. See him cut it down to the bottom, but he's making it work really well. He's picked up 10 spots so far. Doc?
You know, talking with crew chief Gil Martin this morning, he said, you know, despite the fact that Kevin has never won a nationwide or Sprint Cup race here at Dover, he said this is one of his best racetracks. He said he never qualified well, but we were really, really good in happy hour. Everything we did made the car better, even two tire stops. He said, basically, Doc, to sum it up, he said Kevin was happy Harvick in happy hour. Jamie?
Well, I talked to Darian Grubb, crew chief for Tony Stewart this morning, and I asked him about last week and running out of fuel, and I said, what do you guys do now? How do you race? He said, we are going for broke. It's all about wins, and that's what we're focused on. However, this isn't one of their best racetracks. Tony wasn't thrilled in practice, so they're just looking at making up some track position here and getting off strategy the second half of the race. Marty?
Well, but Tony did win this race in 2000 from a 27th starting position, and remember, he started 25th today, so the fans won't give up on home yet, as the caution is out here for the first time. And I do not see any vehicles in the wall. We're waiting for official word from NASCAR. So that 1.3-second lead for A.J. Allmendinger has just evaporated. Okay, here's the word that we have gotten from NASCAR. The cover on one of the caution lights has come loose on the backstretch, and they want to get that attended to before it falls onto the track.
Yeah, we've seen that happen. I think it was California Speedway. We saw one of those things fall down. Lucky it didn't hit a race car, but it can be extremely dangerous, so they need to take care of that.
Pits are closed. That's what that flag signifies. Biggest mover so far, Mark Martin today. He has picked up 14 spots up to the 28th position.
These cars make, these bigger cars today make so much more wake when they go by that there's a lot of turbulence, and that's what blows a lot of these caution lights and the covers off. We saw actually that whole caution light came off in California one time.
So we're completing 39 laps. Looks like everybody's loaded, ready to go. Would you gamble at all on track position and maybe just do 2 tires there, crew chief?
Well, it depends on where I'm at. If I was in the back, I probably would. If I'm A.J. Allmendinger, I'm going to get 4 tires right here, reset, and go again.
Yeah, I don't think this had never been a place that 2 tires worked all that well, especially after you've got about almost 40 laps on the tires here, which is about half of a fuel run.
There is the crew right there going up to check on that light that we were talking about and the cover that they are worried about coming loose. So while all that's going on, pit road has opened up. A.J. Allmendinger does lead the pack on down, and we get ready and send it down to Dr. Jerry Punch.
Thanks, Marty. Martin Truex says the car is snappy loose in the corner. He can't roll the center of the corner. It's very, very loose. They're going to go down air pressure, down around on the track bar. Actually, to add air pressure in the rear, down around on the track bar to fix it. Vince.
The 42 of Juan Pablo Montoya, top of the screen, says it's a little tight. He's got a vibration in the right front also that's making a 4-tire change with an air pressure adjustment. The 43 of A.J. Allmendinger, your leader, pretty good on entry, a little loose off. Just 4 tires, no changes. Dave?
Second place, Jimmy Johnson. His car went to the tight side. They made a track bar adjustment. They had some trouble, I believe, on the left side, and he's going to lose a bunch of spots.
He certainly is, Dave. As you see the Longhorn Steakhouse race off pit road. Greg Biffle, the big winner, +2. Johnson, the loser, at -3. But A.J. Allmendinger's crew has done the job again, and for the second week in a row, He is up front and having a great day.